Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome. You're listening to Perfectly Healthy in Tone Radio with your host, Darren Fat Man McDuck. And now, prepare to get fat. Hey, what's cracking? Welcome back to another episode of Perfectly Healthy in Tone Radio. I am your host, Darren Fat Man McDuffie, and I want you to be perfectly healthy in tone. So tonight, we have a good show for you. Victoria Taylor from the modernmonklife.com is coming on to talk about her journey with food and all the good things that she has. But before we get Victoria on the show, a couple of announcements. So today, just about 10 minutes ago, I put out on Facebook a new video that I shot about food and your child's mood. I know most of you have gone to Walmart, gone to Target, and you've seen where these kids fall out in the aisle and they're crying, or you see kids sleep in the shopping carts. And most of the time we just think to ourselves that it must be the parents. The parents might be doing a bad job, but we never really make that connection that food might be doing this to your child. Perhaps you took them to Starbucks. Perhaps you gave them some cookies or something to that effect, and it made them a little bit ornery. So you need to start making that connection to food, especially when it comes to kids. We have a lot of kids now that are suffering from food sensitivities and food allergies and things of that nature. So what's happening is these things are manifested in their emotions and their feelings. So many people are not making that connection. So do that. If you have not joined my YouTube channel, please join the YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/fatbodybc. Also connect with me on Twitter at @thefat_man, and also you can connect with me on Facebook at facebook.com/I'mTheFatMan. And for those of you that are already in my fan page, have connected with me on Twitter, I thank you. I'm very, very grateful for everyone and all the messages that I get from people from the fan page and also just from the email as well. So couple of things. We got through the announcements, and we also will have Victoria coming on. But before I do, what I want to do is have you give you my email address, rather. So with the email, it's darren@fat-man.com. So if you have any questions, any suggestions of anyone you would like to see on the show, then please get in contact with me. Victoria Taylor is on tonight. Next week, I'll have a very, very interesting show. Please do not miss that show. I have a gentleman on by the name of Chuck Frank, and we will be talking about life before life. If you're having a problem with you're actually having a problem, rather, with finding your purpose in life and finding what you're here to be doing, this will be a very interesting conversation. I actually had a 2-hour conversation with Chuck one day, and we went through the gamut of things about life and different things about energy, and it's going to be a very, very interesting show, so you do not want to miss that. After Chuck Frank, the next week I'll have a doctor on, and we'll be talking about weight loss. So that'll be a good show as well. And I also have something special that's coming where I'm going to be endorsing a product. I don't usually put my name on many things that people approach me with, because I just don't agree with the ingredients. But there's only one product out there, or one product line rather, that I do agree with the ingredients, and I'm going to be endorsing that. And I'm going to be having a special webinar. So look out for that on Facebook. So without further ado, I know that's my favorite word here on the show, but without further ado, I want to bring Victoria on the show. But before I do, we met through a distributor of mine where I get my grass-fed meats and my organ meats, and she said, her name is Carla, and she said, you got to meet this girl. Her name is Victoria. I said, okay. So she gave me Victoria's email address, and Victoria and I have been corresponding back and forth, and we finally got the show. We were supposed to do the show, I think, back in February, and my internet was down. I had to get AT&T to come out, and they came out and made another outlet because something was wrong with the outlet for the internet. And then the next time we scheduled the show, she couldn't make it. So I guess the third time is the charm, and I finally got her on. So I've been really anticipating and looking forward to the show. So let me bring Victoria on. Hey, Victoria,
Hi.
are you there?
Yes. Hi, Darren.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. As you said, I am so excited to be here because we have missed a couple opportunities, but third time is a charm.
Yeah, it's always good the third time, and either the third time is a charm or the third time is that time when you say, "Hey, I got to give up." So
Right.
I'm actually glad that we had you on. So, Victoria, tell me how you got into this whole wacky world of health and wellness. Give us your journey.
Well, first, Darren, I want to first thank you for what you do because, like myself and so many people out there, we are committed to living our life to its fullest potential. We are committed to really, really living in our true divinity, in our true great energy that we are, and we do that with our stress level, with our food, with our environment, with our profession, and like you, we're sharing all of our knowledge and what we're discovering on the journey together, and we're sharing that with everyone. So I really appreciate what you're doing, and I'm going to start getting into why I started Modern Monk.
You got your I hear your dog back there.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. So we got started with Modern Monk as well. What happened was that my mom started going through a lot of medical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I was very young, she had lots of stuff going on. Not to give too much detail, she had some she had pancreatitis. She had cancer. She had a tumor in her. It was really interesting because she got a tumor in her face that something only smokers get. So it was very, very interesting that she got that. And then most recently, she was diagnosed with colon cancer. And on this whole journey, they found a tumor in her colon, right? So then they said, you need to remove it. You need to surgically remove it. So she goes ahead and she does surgery. Then they find that what happened was that the cancer cells jumped to the lymph nodes. And once you have cancer cells in the lymph nodes, you are now stage 3. So it was a little scary at the time, but I'm very happy to report that she's doing very well right now. But in this process, we're going to doctor's appointment to doctor's appointment, and every solution that they provided her with was so toxic. And we were getting advice from these people. I remember we were in one doctor's office, and I was sitting next to her, and it must have been after lunch or something. And the doctor was examining her, and I can hear his stomach rumbling. He was a little overweight, and he didn't look very healthy. But I thought it was very interesting that we are sitting here taking advice on a very serious disease and a very serious case, and this man here who doesn't look very healthy himself, whose stomach is rumbling, I mean, he must have eaten something real not so good for lunch, and he is giving my mother advice on how she's going to live. I was like, wow. And so what I started to do was she had gone through, she eats not very well, and she had gone through a nutritionist, and in this path we said, well, you know what, Mom, maybe it's the meat that we're eating. Maybe your body just can't digest it very well. I mean,